and Arizona State in history, and it's for a chance to go to the college football playoff. Iowa State won the toss. They elect to defer. There's the 34-year-old Kenny Dillingham and his star running back Cam Skattebo. Meanwhile, Matt Campbell, the head coach for Iowa State, the second coach in school history to coach 100 games. The start of championship Saturday. College football, win and you're in, on the line here in Arlington. So Sam Leavitt is the starting quarterback for Arizona State, and in his career was a huge recruit coming out of the state of Oregon. He ended up at Michigan State, and there he only 4 game appearances. Meanwhile, he comes to Arizona State, and Jesse, week after week, he has found a way, overcoming an injury in the Utah game and leading them to this moment.
I think one of the biggest surprises this year in all of college football, Joe, he can hurt you throwing it, running it with his scrambling ability. You're right. His poise for a redshirt freshman has just been sensational.
Cam Skattebo nearly 1,400 yards, and this is how he's going to open up the Big 12 championship. As advertised, Big Cam.
And it's a great job of patience and vision this time by Skattebo, because he's going to see a lane open. There's pulling linemen this way. He starts this side, but he looks back that way and sees the cutback. This is a tremendous job. It's supposed to go to the right, but great job of patience and vision by this sensational running back.
28 yards on the opening play of the game. Right back to work. And this time they're able to corral him. Katie, there's a major injury concern for ASU.
Yeah, Tess, they're without top wide receiver Jordan Tyson today. He said pregame it's so hard for him to be standing on the sidelines for this game, but he spoke to the wide receiver room yesterday. He said, I know I got a lot of touches this season, but this is your all's opportunity to shine. Make the most of this and finish the job for us.
Katie, not an easy guy to replace with his speed and his route running and his hands. He was the go-to guy in this passing game, so as a group, we've got a lot of other guys that are going to have to step up.
There's play action, Leavitt's first throw of the game, and it's an easy pitch and catch as he gets it complete. And that is to Stovall for a first down, as you see Jordan Tyson rooting on his teammates.
Yeah, you see he's had just a remarkable season this year, the transfer for Colorado has. And you take a look at the stats on offense at receiver. I mean, the next best in terms of receptions is a running back, then it's a tight end. You got to go all the way down to Xavier Guillory and Melquan Stovall combining for 30 catches this year, so you can see the production Jordan Tyson has had and what they're missing in this game.
This is Kyson Brown on the carry. He struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage as that front for Iowa State doing their job well.
Well, it's
Sean James with the tackle.
And it's an Iowa State defense, Joe, that has struggled stopping the run this year. They really are going to be challenged up front, especially in the box, to be physical, stay in their gaps, shed blocks, fill appropriately to try to slow down Skattebo and Kyson Brown.
You see Iowa State defensively, they have struggled in giving up rushing yards this year. 96th in the country against the run. Leavitt on 2nd and 10. To the end zone, overthrows Gilroy, the intended target.
Pressure coming off the edge that time by Deshaun James. Just forced Leavitt to step up in the pocket, and this time he had Xavier Guillory on the deep crossing route, just a little out in front, leading to the incompletion. Now setting up 3rd and long. Here down close to the red zone.
Guillory 3 touchdown catches on the year. His target without Tyson available to go. First 3rd down they faced of this opening drive, and it's a 3rd and 10. 3-man rush against Leavitt. And he's going to tuck it and try to run for it as he dives ahead near the 15-yard line. A tackle from Sadowski.
Now I'm curious to see what Kenny Dillingham, their head coach, is going to do. They've had awful kicking this year at Arizona State, and a lot of 4th downs. They've decided to go for it. Looks like they're bringing out the field goal unit here early. try and generate some points on this opening drive.
Karsten Kiefer is their third different place kicker to start a game this year. And UC has only had one career attempt, has yet to make a field goal in his college career. But he will come out here for a 32-yard attempt to try to open the scoring in this Big 12 championship game. And he just puts it through, got under it a little bit. But his first field goal made of his career makes it 3-zip Sun Devils. As far as this season for Iowa State, Jess, they opened up the year surging all the way into the top 10. They were 7-0 right from the get-go. But then the back-to-back weeks that lost to Texas Tech and to Kansas. Kansas was playing spoiler down the stretch. But they gathered themselves, and it's a school record 10 wins.
This is an incredibly physically and mentally tough team, Iowa State. Matt Campbell, you go back to the offseason and the winter conditioning and spring football, he made it harder on his players than it had ever been in the 9 years he was there, knowing they were going to have to face adversity. He wanted them to fail, and he wanted to see how they were going to be able to respond. His team has been able to do that. After losing 2 in a row, they finished the season strong, and this year they've won 4 games by 1 possession. That had been a problem for Iowa State these last 3 seasons. You know Iowa State is physical on both sides of the ball, but I think it's their mental toughness, Joe, that makes them truly unique.
Talk about a team that made it into the top 10 at one point. Matt Campbell producing 7 weeks in the top 10 in history of Iowa State. All other coaches in the history of the program, one of those appearances. This is Jackson as we will bring out the Iowa State offense with Rocco Becht at quarterback and game-winning drives. That was his thing this year, Jesse.
Yeah, listen, he's got a ton of moxie. You've seen him 3 times, fourth-quarter game-winning drives this year. He's not the biggest quarterback in the country at 6'1", 210, but he can hurt you throwing it. He can hurt you running the football, too. And when the moment is big and they need him to perform, Rocco Becht just always seems to play his best. He galvanizes this offense and football team. He is an outstanding leader.
Here's the Florida native. That is batted at the line of scrimmage on his first pass attempt of the afternoon by Clayton Smith.
That's been an issue for Rocco Becht this year. We talked about being only 6'1", throwing from the pocket. He's had a lot of balls batted down this year. That's the 7th on the season, that time by the Oklahoma transfer Clayton Smith.
Abu Sama with a good lane. And he's close to that line to gain for Iowa State.
Well, that time, Arizona State at linebacker didn't do a great job filling it. This ball's coming back this way with 2 pullers, and these linebackers just get way out of their gaps. It gets overrun to the left side and just opens up a big crease in the middle. Caleb McCullough just not fast enough getting over to try to get a tackle on Sama.
So 10-yard run from Sama. Becht on first down, as this time he gets it complete to his tight end, Gabe Burkle.
And this is a big, big challenge, I think, for Rocco Becht in this game. You got to be patient when you're playing against Arizona State because they play a lot of big zone coverage. 7 guys are going to be dropping back. The home run ball isn't always going to be there, so just take what the defense gives you. A little stick route that time by your tight end. If it's not open, check it down, take the profit, keep the offense on schedule, knowing you're going to get an opportunity later in the game to take shots.
Of course, they do have Higgins and Knoll, the pair of 1,000-yard wide receivers, the only pair in major college football. 2nd and 5, pitch to Hansen, and Hansen, look at the power to get ahead as a flag comes down, and we will check on that, see if it stays a first down.
Yeah, Iowa State right now really trying to impose their will that time, putting an extra offensive lineman out there, trying to establish this line of scrimmage.
Personal foul, face mask, number 44. Defense, 15 yards, we added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
yards on Keyshawn Elliott.
So they bring out James Neal, a 330-pound extra offensive lineman right now. He just encloses and caves in this left side of Arizona State's defensive line, that time going up against Justin Watley. And here's the face mask at the end of the play. Keyshawn Elliott guilty of the infraction, and Iowa State on the move.
Already crossing midfield, 39-yard line of ASU. Beck swings it out of the backfield. Hansen again, well blocked, and another first down for the Cyclones.
They've got three guys in the backfield that Iowa State will use. It really is a tailback by committee approach, and Carson Hansen really is the physical one-cut runner that they can throw to. He'll take direct snaps out of this shotgun. They've even given him a chance for halfback passes. He can do it all.
Bunch formation to the side. They get it quickly there to Hansen with the blockers in front as he takes advantage and goes out of bounds at the 21.
Man, and a lightning quick release that time by Rocco Beck. Shamari Simmons from Arizona State had a beat on that. He was coming downhill, and if Rocco Beck isn't able to get this football out quickly, that was very close to being at best an incompletion and at worst a pick six.
Seven yards on that quick completion. Sama straight ahead. He's going to be about a yard short. It'll be third down from there. Yet to see the downfield attacks from Jaden Higgins or Jalen Knoll. Jalen Knoll, who we showed you pregame, is a catch in 44 straight games. Here's third down and 1. Arizona State looked like they may have gotten a stop. We'll see if that forward surge, and based on that mark, it looks like it will be a first down for Iowa State.
You're talking about those two receivers, Joe, and you're right. Higgins and Knoll, the only pair to have over 1,000 yards each in the entire country. And they really complement each other well. Higgins on the left, he's the bigger guy, he's more of a deep threat. Knoll on the right, outstanding route runner, does a lot of his damage underneath and the intermediate levels, good on third down, but you can't double team both of those guys. And for Rocco Beck, he's got a really good matchup each and every time he drops back to pass.
Ninth play of this first drive for Iowa State. As Beck is tackled by Elliott.
Well, and this is the cat and mouse game for Arizona State, is they're keeping their safeties back deep because they want to try and get as much double help on Higgins and Knoll as they can. But of course, when you've got an extra safety back deep, you got one less guy in the box. And Iowa State right now is really trying to take advantage of that. Every time they see 6 men in there, they're trying to run the football, and they're having success.
See 3 safeties among their leading tacklers. Scatterbo just waiting his turn. This long, sustained opening drive by Iowa State. Play action for Beck on 2nd and 5, as coming across to make it 1st and goal is Gabe Burkle. Their 6th first down of the drive, Jesse.
Yeah, nice job by Burkle that time. He's over here. He's going to start with the block, and then he's going to release out here into the flat. Really nice play fake by Rocco. Beck gets his head around. He's got to negotiate the block out in front of him to get that football around, but easy pitch and catch. There's just a really nice rhythm and tempo right now to this Iowa State drive. A really nice answer to Arizona State kicking a field goal on their first try. Iowa State looking good here up to the challenge.
Bringing in the big bodies right now. Offensive lineman James Neal wearing number 93 as an extra tight end on 3rd and goal. Got a whole lot of meat in there for the Cyclones. As straight ahead goes Carson Hansen, tackled by Elliott. Flag comes in at the end of the play. Mike Vanderveld heads up this Big 12 crew. It is his first championship game as a referee.
Illegal substitution, 12 players in formation, defense. That penalty is half the distance to the goal. It's first down.
We saw earlier James Neal, that extra lineman you're talking about, Joe, number 93. Watch what he's doing up front. This is the 2nd time where he is completely taking a defender.
That's road grading.
And just road grading him down close to the end zone.
He's 6'6", 330 pounds. And he comes in as a 3rd tight end. And now he will get a breather for a moment, as it's 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Tyson Hansen.
And the play fake that time to Hansen had everybody in the second level of Arizona State's defense frozen. Everyone was expecting run. They all came flying downhill. And it's never going to get much easier than this. You get all of this right here, and it's Hansen out of the backfield, able to make this an easy pitch and catch. Iowa State, head coach Matt Campbell, offensive coordinator Taylor Mauser, they came out in this first drive trying to establish their physicality. And I would say they did a good job of that.
Conradi adds the extra point. 11 plays, 75 yards. So well managed by Rocco Beck with a college football playoff spot on the line. Top, Cam Skattebo, the star for Arizona State. Listen, coming out of high school, this was not a big recruit. Just had the scholarship offer to go play at Sacramento State. Wanted to transform himself. He lost 15 pounds over the summer at ASU, and he has been an absolute monster. Top 10 in major college football in rush yards per game.
He really has. And what's been so impressive about him, too, is just all the different things he's good at and how he helps this offense. A guy that started a game as quarterback last year. He punted last year, Joe, played wide receiver. Anything this offense needs, Cam Skattebo can do.
Well, guys, after last season ended, Kenny Dillingham had a frank and honest conversation with Cam Skattebo. He said, I've coached a lot of guys that are playing on Sundays. Right now, you are not an NFL running back. He said, but you can be if you do these things. Stop being selfish. Guys have to want to block for you. Get faster, drop 10 pounds of body fat. Dillingham said Skattebo could have easily left ASU, said to heck with this guy, but instead he accepted the challenge, improved his speed, dropped weight, and became a better teammate. Now everybody's reaping the rewards, Tess.
Yeah, very honest leadership, and it has paid off. Here's Sam Levitt on first down as he gets it quickly to Mateer, the tight end, who may be a major target today with Jordan Tyson out.
I think he's one of the guys that really has to step up for Arizona State in Tyson's absence. He's a guy that they do a really nice job scheming on screens to try to get him his touches, but without that guy right there, Joe, I feel like the players are going to be able to make plays vertically down the field. And Mateer out in the field is big. I think down in the red zone, he's got to be a huge weapon too.
So Jordan Tyson with that injury, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdown receptions. Skattebo, at moment of contact, you know he's always going to go forward. His third and likely just inches. Sadowski made the tackle.
And obviously, as a big guy, you know he's a good runner between the tackles. But Skattebo's surprisingly very good outside of the tackles as well. He's got deceptive speed. He's been clocked at 21 miles an hour running. And as we know, he's the kind of guy that wants to lower the shoulder and road grade and run people over. So 2 positive plays here on these first 2 downs now, set up 3rd and short.
Third and 1, short pitch to Skattebo. Takes his time looking for just a little bit, but what a great job with defensive pursuit for Iowa State.
Well, that time it was Iowa State, and their safeties played downhill so fast. Tashawn James, number 19, he's lined up 7 yards away from the line of scrimmage. He's able to come down, linebackers getting off of blocks, making the stop. You don't see that very often. Arizona State going for it here early, inside their own 35.
They've converted 52% on the year. This is 4th and 1 from just short of their own 35-yard line. Levitt to pass on 4th and 1. Wide open and complete. Stovall, a race to the goal line and just tripped up. How about that on 4th and inches?
Well, Arizona State gave Iowa State a little taste of their own medicine. They brought the extra offensive lineman in Makua Pule right here, so everyone thinks this is going to be run, but it's Stovall getting behind everyone. What a play call by Kenny Dillingham and this coaching staff. An explosive play on a massive 4th down.
63 yards as Kenny Dillingham, the 34-year-old Dynamo head coach, rolls the dice and comes up big.
Pule still out there, Joe, right now lined up at fullback.
1st and goal. As the play clock was counting down and thus the timeout. But after that big, emotional, exciting moment, obviously everybody having to compose themselves. A 63-yard play on 4th and 1. And with that, Arizona State is sitting there right on the door looking to crash on through. First-year conference teams that could win the championships. Virginia Tech was the last first-year member of a conference to win a championship, and these are the odds that things break their way. Of course, we've got Texas and Georgia coming up in the SEC championship.
Well, Joe, it's all impressive, right? They won the Big 12 last year. They won the American. They almost got to the playoff. This is the team that's so surprising. Back-to-back 3-9 seasons to come into the Big 12 in the first year and just be in this game. To me, is one of the best stories in college football this year. Also, NCAA sanctions from recent years and picked to finish dead last in the preseason media poll. But after the 63-yard play on 4th and 1, here they are with Skattebo taking the direct snap, and he is in deep trouble. And then he tries to pass it, and it falls harmlessly to the ground. But man, oh man, was that a dangerous play as Jacob Ellis was putting pressure on Skattebo, and then Skattebo said, I'm just going to launch this thing. Yeah, he's got to take this and just knowing the play's over, but it's Ellis up here taking on a pulling lineman who completely...
for intentional grounding. The cornerback was outside the tackle box and was able to get the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. Second down.
He was able to stone him at the line, and Skattebo unwisely just throws this thing. Yes, it goes over the line of scrimmage because he was out of the tackle box. That is not intentional grounding, so good call there, but very dangerous, very scary play.
By the way, a 17-yard difference compared to where he could have been tackled. Here he is tackled right at the line of scrimmage, so that'll make 3rd and goal as this Iowa State defense looks to be a stonewall early on. So Singleton with the tackle.
I think this is where Shimon Mateer at tight end has to be a force for Arizona State's offense. He's a guy down in the red zone who's made a lot of plays, number 7 right there. And without Jordan Tyson out wide winning a one-on-one matchup, you got to find your next best option. With his athleticism and his quicks on the left side of that line, he's a guy that I think Sam Leavitt might be thinking if they throw it.
Mateer has 3 touchdowns in the last 4 games. Is he the target here? Leavitt's going to run with Skattebo blocking, and he goes right in.
Phenomenal job. You got Ben Coleman, the left guard. He's pulling. Skattebo out front as well. And Sam Leavitt, we talked about his athleticism. Those legs, they've come up big time and time again. There's the big guard. He gets a push to the face before getting outside. Skattebo gets a little love as well. And in all 3 drives so far in this game, Joe, the offense has been able to come away with points. Feels like we're in for a good one here at Jerry World.
2 teams who feel like they're playing with house money as Karsten Kiefer adds the extra point. But what they're playing for is the biggest prize of all. The Big 12 championship and a ticket to the college football playoff. 10-7 Sun Devils. In Arlington, but coming up, it's the SEC championship game. Number 5 Georgia, number 2 Texas. That's on ABC, presented by Dr. Pepper, and at 8 the ACC championship presented by Geico. Number 17 Clemson, number 8 SMU. And don't look now, but if Clemson pulls that upset, watch out tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt. That's going to shake a lot of things up. If Clemson wins that game, they're automatically in the playoff. I think a big question then becomes, does SMU stay in? Do they drop out? There's reverberations. Does that knock Alabama out potentially? A lot still to be decided.
Of course, we got simple math here. Win, and you're in.
Well, one of the things I really like about Iowa State offensively is they're multiple and how they use personnel. And then they love 2 tight end sets. It's called 12 personnel. 2 tight ends, 1 running back, 2 receivers. Here against Kansas, pro formation, RPO, hitting Steve-O Klotz. Later in the game, you go empty with the same personnel grouping, and they're going to go with a post throw to Jalen Knoll for a touchdown. And then earlier in the game, you go power I with the 2 tight end set again and 12 personnel. Everybody thinking it's run. Play action shot down the field to Knoll. It makes it so difficult as a defense to figure out what personnel you want to use to try and stop these formations.
Rocco Becht on first down as he gets it complete to Higgins. So there is Jaden Higgins, who has over 1,000 yards receiving, had a 7-straight game touchdown streak this season.
Well, they're going to run a flat here to try to hold this corner and allow Higgins to get in behind him. You see a lot of empty sets from Iowa State, and I like that because I think it makes the picture a lot cleaner for Rocco Becht.
Becht extending the play, looking for an option, and then just has to throw it away.
How about the job Matt Campbell has done this season, Joe, in his 9th year at Iowa State, completely changing the culture and the expectation. When he took over, they were winning 4 games a year.
That's right.
Now it's not just about, hey, we're going to try to get to a bowl game. That's great. Now it's, let's compete for Big 12 championships, and let's try to get to the college football playoff. The job he has done has just been remarkable.
Of course, they were here in 2020 and then had the Year 6 bowl win. But this, a much different beast. A chance to go to the college football playoff with a win today. 2nd and 10 is complete for a first down as he goes to Knoll. Jalen Knoll with over 2,600 career receiving yards.
It's a nice design outside because they're clearing the corner here out with that go route to the outside. That opens some space for Knoll to go to work. Now, Arizona State defensively is still playing with 2 high safeties. And on the first drive, Joe, we saw Iowa State running the football, but they've come out here deciding to be more aggressive and throw against those 2 high safety looks, and they're having success.
17-yard completion. Going to pass again. Quick strike on the slant, and it's Higgins. So now you're starting to see this dynamic pair of receivers.
It's a nice RPO decision by Rocco Becht because the play fake here is just going to freeze this, and that opens up the slant in behind it. Really good job of quick decision making, getting it out of his hands quickly by Becht to his receiver.
Hansen, as he takes it to the 21-yard line.
You know, and Arizona State is a defense that really is bend, don't break, Joe. They've only given up 11 plays of 30 or more yards this year, so they want to try and keep the football in front of them. But it's in these critical situations down in the red zone, they've got to get stops. And they can't allow touchdowns. They've got to allow field goals if that's going to be the case. They've got to play well in these critical down and distances and areas of the field.
2nd and 6. Becht. Easy to the tight end, Burkle. And Burkle will muscle his way inside the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal, Cyclones.
I think offensive coordinator Taylor Mauser has done a nice job too, Joe, of just moving the launch point for Rocco Becht. It hasn't all been from the pocket. They've been able to throw some nakeds, get them on the perimeter. So this Arizona State D-line can't just tee off.
Closing seconds here of this first quarter. Another good, long, sustained drive by Rocco Becht and Iowa State. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game. A 10-7 lead for the moment for Arizona State. We'll return after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
They're 2 long, efficient drives. How do you capitalize again here in the red zone?
Yeah, I think execution is going to be the key. You know, we're doing some really great things on defense and certainly doing the same thing on offense. But, man, we got to win the moments in these critical moments down in the red zone, 3rd down. They'll be huge for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, here's a moment to win. 1st and goal. Sama looking for anything, not finding much, just falls ahead for a yard. That first quarter came in combined 30 plays were run, 0 for negative yards. The highlight was the 4th and 1 63-yard play by Arizona State. But Iowa State, Jesse, consistent 10 first downs.
Yeah, and they're doing it running the ball. They're doing it throwing the ball. A lot of new formations like this one right here. A little bit funky and empty. 4 bodies out to the right. And Higgins backside one-on-one.
2nd and goal. Becht looks left to the end zone. Back shoulder is incomplete. It'll be 3rd and goal. He's looking for Higgins.
Well, and ASU that time had safety help to that side, so still surprised that they decided to try to throw that. We're trying to go to the back shoulder. You got to give Javen Robinson, the Washington State transfer, who gives up 5 inches in height against Higgins, fighting him on that play, making sure he's not going to come down with it. And we talked about it, Joe. Critical situations like this in the red zone. It's okay for Arizona State to give up yards, but you can't give up touchdowns down here in the red zone.
3rd and goal. First third down they have faced on this drive, 9 plays in, as the flag comes in with movement.
False start, number 9. Offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
That's Higgins, the receiver.
Well, Higgins outside. He's a senior. He just knows better, maybe a little bit too anxious to try and run another fade route, but obviously here if you're Rocco Becht, you just got to be patient, right? Obviously you want to throw a touchdown, you're down in the red zone, but there's a good chance Arizona State here drops a lot of guys in coverage, and if it's not there, you're just checking it down or you're throwing it away, not taking a sack in this area of the field.
Remember, he went to Hansen for the touchdown earlier. 3rd and goal. Becht, pressure up the middle, just has to check down to Hansen. Hansen's going to be wrestled at the 18-yard line. That's a heck of a job by the Sun Devils defense.
Yeah,
that was Caleb McCullough.
And Caleb McCullough does a nice job because at the beginning of the play, it looks like he's going to be blitzing right here, but he's got the running back one-on-one, and as soon as this ball is snapped, he's able to get out wide again. He's got his eyes on the quarterback in man coverage that time. He's able to make a nice tackle.
Prince Dorball, the defensive end for Arizona State, is slow to get up. Medical team is out to take a look at him. And with that, we'll take a short break and come back to Arlington. For championship week, Joe Tessitore, Jesse Palmer, and Katie George with you here at AT&T Stadium. It's been an entertaining Big 12 championship to this point, as Arizona State's defense just held on 3rd down. 3-point lead for the Sun Devils. The winner of this game makes it to the college football playoff as Kyle Conrarty on to attempt the field goal to tie this game. Last week was his first miss from inside of 40 yards all season long. This will be from 36 to tie it. Conrarty had a big moment earlier this year, a game-winning 54-yarder to beat then number 21 Iowa. "36-yarder is good, and we are tied up at 10-10 to see whose name will be filled in to the bracket. It's our all-state playoff predictor, and this is the way, if you just take the rankings, it looks going into this championship Saturday.
Yeah, and Arizona State's at the 12th spot because they're ranked higher than Iowa State right now. But what's interesting, the ACC title game later, Joe, if Clemson beats SMU, Boise State in all likelihood moves to the 3 spot, and then that might knock Alabama out if SMU falls but stays in the playoffs. So this game, the ACC championship game, I think the results of those two really affect this bracket.
Yeah, I'm so excited that we have a college football playoff that's now at 12 teams. But this whole deal with the conference champions being doubly rewarded, the top 4, of getting the 1 through 4 when we know the rankings that are next to the name, that's the big change that I think everybody wants to see in the coming years. Get rid of it. So Iowa State was the first to score a touchdown today as Carson Hansen had the 3-yard reception from Rocco Becht. And then Sam Levitt with Big Scadaboo out in front on a drive that was set up, Jesse, what was the play so far of this first half, the 4th and 1. And Arizona State goes 63 yards to set up that touchdown.
And Arizona State, again, after scoring that touchdown on the last drive, trying to build momentum, trying to build some confidence without their go-to weapon, Jordan Tyson. But running the football with Scadaboo really has been paying dividends early.
Here is Scadaboo, and this is exactly what he does. How did he stay on balance there? Look at him go! Scadaboo inside the 30. A human wrecking ball downfield through Iowa State's defense.
And it's the contact balance that's just so uncanny. You see Mr. and Mrs. Scadaboo looking on right there. This guy just does not go down. and you're pulling guys around, you're getting them into second level, you got DBs with an opportunity to make a tackle, and they just can't get him down. A miss, a run over, a run through, he stays on his feet, and then shedding those 15 extra pounds has helped his speed, and just refuses to go down.
A 47-yard run by Skattebo. Brown goes ahead for 2. But, I mean, how much do you just appreciate the passion he plays with?
Well, it's just here. It's cliche, I think, to say, yeah, this running back, he dishes out the punishment. Skattebo legitimately is that guy. Like, he's hunting people up to try and run over. And we talked about this. He is never going to run out of bounds on his own accord. He is legitimately injuring guys each and every week who are trying to tackle him. And that's why I say he's just one of the most physical running backs I've ever seen.
We watch that number all day long of yards after contact. Already 66. Out of the backfield, swinging it to Brown. Brown has blockers in front. And it's a first down for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, Brown's going to have to play a role in this one as well, running it and catching the football. He's a guy they can line up in the slot, give jet sweeps to, and he had a big game last week. Skattebo always has big ones, but against Arizona in that rivalry game, Tyson Brown had 100 yards himself. So both of these guys are going to have to get a lot of water and spell each other because, again, without Jordan Tyson, their workload really goes up in this game.
The big bruiser is back in. Levitt looking to extend the play, and Levitt is going to keep his balance somehow. Sam Levitt inside the 5.
Well, I think he had a shot at Mateer for a touchdown early in this play, but he didn't get it thrown, and then it's the scrambling ability that just takes over. This comes open really early. He gets this ball out, and he throws it beyond the safety. Now that's going to be a touchdown, but he took his eyes off of it. But this is what makes Sam Levitt special, Joe. The scrambling ability. 352 yards this year on scrambles. The 4th most of any quarterback, or the 7th most, sorry, of any quarterback in the FBS.
Slithering his way for 14 yards, and it's a 1st and goal. Skattebo. All too easy.
It's one of the favorite schemes of Arizona State up front is pulling big offensive linemen and pulling them in tandems. Skattebo already tough to tackle by himself, but 3 extra big bodies make it so much more difficult.
Skattebo already with 85 yards. He's averaging 12.1 per carry. As Kiper adds the extra point. Skattebo saved my life, this guy's shirt says.
Well, we knew this guy was going to touch the football early in this game. You see the right guard, right tackle, tight end all coming to the party. Iowa State does not have enough guys over on that side. Skattebo. Billy Madison is loving it.
Oh, Jesse. 1912. It's the last time they won a conference championship. Arizona became a state in 1912, Jesse.
Titanic sank on April 15th as well, 2 years before the First World War.
And by the way, the year Perry Como was born, a lot of Christmas songs being played this time.
You and I would have struggled in Prohibition, by the way.
Struggled. Please, Katie.
Yeah, Tess, as you could imagine, the defense on this Iowa State sideline is talking about how to bring down Cam Skattebo. John Haycock lit into his linebackers, and then Matt Campbell came over to the sideline, kind of cleaned it up. A little bit good cop, bad cop here. They said spell the ball, cut off his engine, and make sure you wrap up his legs because he's got such great contact balance. We got to get him down on the ground first contact.
Yeah, guys got to stop trying to be heroes getting off of blocks and just use angles and funnel the football back to all the bodies, and then easier said than done. Wrapping those big legs, trying to get him to the ground.
Contact balance is the word of the day. As Hansen takes it ahead for 8.5 yards, McCullough with the tackle.
Well, that was like a power formation with 2 tight ends. You're seeing it from both sides. The power running of Skattebo on one side for Arizona State, and then Iowa State on the flip, lining up old school. big bodies in the backfield, and they're just running it right downhill into the teeth of Arizona State. This does not feel like a Big 12 football game, by the way.
No, it doesn't.
What about the air raid offense and tempo and throwing it all over the yard?
But is it a well-played football game, Jesse? We have combined 5 possessions so far, 5 scores and 0 punts.
Execution off the charts.
A punt-free first half to this point with a championship on the line, overthrowing the intended target, Jaden Higgins.
I'm impressed right now. Javen Robinson is going to get a game ball for Arizona State if they end up winning this game. That's the second time he's been matched up one-on-one with Higgins, and he's able to win. There's not a lot of times you're going to see these guys in islands, and I don't think Arizona State wants to live this way for the rest, but give him credit. He is competing with a very, very big and long target in Jaden Higgins.
3rd and 1. High formation short pitch, and it is a first down as Carson Hansen will take it ahead. Alford made the tackle.
And that is a shoestring tackle that time by Alford. If he doesn't make it, that's going to be an explosive play on 3rd and 1 like that. Everybody down close to the line of scrimmage. And Iowa State's getting hats on hats. And they're springing their running backs into the 2nd level.
$11 first downs for Iowa State. 5'7", Jalen Jackson with the carry as he goes ahead for nearly 10 yards.
Well,
tackled by Rouser.
Arizona State's trying to disguise their big zone coverages, right? But he's going to bail out, and he's going to bail out, and he's being back. And you've only got 6 bodies in here. You've got to run the ball if you're Iowa State. And I love what Taylor Mauser is doing. He's just being patient. We talked about the running back by committee approach. You've seen Hansen, you've seen Sama, and now the 5'7", 180-pound Jalen Jackson. A bit of a change of pace back. He's getting his work, too.
What a nice job by Jaden Higgins blocking downfield. 2nd down and 1. Looking back against the grain, now looks right and is being pressured all the way back inside the 35, and he's forced to throw it away. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and so you've seen on 2nd and short these last 2 drives, they've tried to take a shot because they're expecting Arizona State to be loading the box and have those one-on-one opportunities. It's the cat and mouse game between Taylor Mauser, no pun intended, the offensive coordinator for Iowa State, and Brian Ward at Arizona State. Iowa State obviously feels very, very confident that in this situation they can line up in the I formation and go get it. They've been doing it all game long. That's why you take the shots on 2nd.
Quick to the line on 3rd and 1. Quarterback sneak, and with the extra push, he gets it easily by 1.5 yards to move the chains, as that ball's going to be resting right at midfield.
So I think moving forward here on 1st down, you're expecting a run. Obviously, Taylor Mauser, get some tight ends out there, big bodies. They're subbing in right now. And if Arizona State's going to stay back with 2 high safeties, then we're just going to keep pounding the rock. And we're going to eat the clock. We're going to hog the ball. Keep Scadaboo on the sidelines for Arizona State.
Here's Sama. Just a couple of yards there, hard earned. Halfway through this 2nd quarter, 7-point lead for the Sun Devils. They had the Scadaboo 3-yard touchdown run moments ago.
Prince Dorba has a really nice individual effort on this run. That was supposed to be a pass, and you heard Rocco Bet, kill, kill, kill. He's killing it to a run play. Arizona State makes their own check, and Dorba doing a nice job. Didn't make the tackle, but he made the play that time for limited yardage.
See the ball control to this point. Iowa State with 27 plays. Play number 28 comes on 2nd and 7. Beck, time to pass, comes to the near side, and what an effort, and what a throw to Jaden Higgins.
Man, he had Higgins running a smash route one-on-one with Shamari Simmons, and how about this accurate throw? There is no defense for a perfect pass. He couldn't have jogged down the field and handed Higgins the ball in a better spot. That is outstanding.
Rocco Beck, they say, just loves to compete. Doesn't care if it's spike ball in the summertime, said Taylor Mauser He's just a competitor every step of the way. 17 yards for a first down. Ball on the 30-yard line there as they go back to the I formation with Hansen. But this time wrapped up immediately by Elliott.
All right, that time there's 8 guys in the box, and that's a look you don't want to run into. So Arizona State is now starting to make some adjustments on their defense. Look at all these bodies in here. Difficult to run into that, and it's really well timed on the blitz right up the middle. Viaseu, the San Diego State transfer, shooting that gap and making a stop.
Viaseu making a good play. Elliott shedding the block, and it's 2nd and 10. They swing it to Knoll out of the backfield. Blockers in front for Jalen Knoll, who is upended. Excellent defensive play by Robinson, who you've been lauding.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job in coverage and also flying downhill and making tackles. And that's what it's about on the back end now. Again, a defense that prides itself not giving up explosives. Difficult guy to tackle in the open field. Mass substitution for Arizona State. You know, go-to guy for Iowa State in these situations has been Jalen Knoll in his route running. Very, very crafty on 3rd down. Down here in the slot right now.
3rd down and 8. 11th play. Another long sustained drive. They bring pressure in the A gap right after Beck. Survives it to throw it downfield. And it's incomplete. He was looking for Carson Brown. Keith Abney had coverage, and Rocco Beck was expecting a flag.
Yeah, Abney's down there. There's a lot of fighting going on that time with Carson Brown on the scramble drill. This man right here, I think he's an Iowa State fan. He wants PI as well. Both guys kind of grabbing each other's jerseys a little bit and fighting, and it's questionable, but you want consistency now. If you're not going to call this against Arizona State's defense, Joe, for the rest of the game, Iowa State's defense can't get those calls either.
There's a lot of Iowa State fans saying it looked like some wrestling there. I know Jay Uso's down on the field. That looked like something the Usos would have done. Here we go now with the 46-yard attempt from Conradi. And this never had a chance. So an 11-play drive goes without a score. As we look at the Dr. Pepper pylon cam one more time to be the judge on all this contact downfield. Cyclones thought it should have been PI. It wasn't, and it was a missed field goal that followed. Good game here in Arlington. More to come. Let's go.
Yeah, way too much fighting here between both players, and there's no effort at all by the DB that time to play the ball. That's one that should have been called. And again, now you're just looking for consistency both ways.
There's Sam Levitt. He's going to launch it downfield, wants every bit of it, and waiting for it and hauling it in was McClain. Malik McClain, 6'4", from Penn State, played in only 4 games earlier, and they brought him in to solve the Jordan Tyson problem.
He's running a go route, and he's one-on-one with the safety, Tashawn James. It's behind him. He's able to use that 6'4" frame. The ball's allowed to touch the ground, Joe, so long as he has complete and continuous control, and he did. That was a great catch.
Now keep in mind, Jordan Tyson, their star wide receiver, as Katie said, they're going to take a look at this. Couldn't go today. So Malik McClain, who they were redshirting, played in 4 games earlier this season. This doesn't count against him. So they've got him out on the field, and he comes up with that 43-yard reception.
Yeah, when you play in the postseason, that doesn't count against your red shirt, and that's why he's able to go. And I think this is a catch looking back, because the ball, to me, looked like it never moved.
Prior to Iowa State calling a timeout, previous play of a completed pass for a first down is under review.
We've seen Arizona State come up with a big shot earlier on 4th down to Melquan Stovall. Take a look at this again. There's the catch. Does the ball move? Does the ground in any way, shape, or form help McClain secure that catch?
Now, people are going to say it touched the ground. It does not matter as long as he has firm and consistent control through the process of the catch. Look at the grip on that football.
Yep. I don't think there's any movement. The call in the field was completion, so you need to have indisputable video evidence to overturn that call.
And this is right down a few booths from us. Brad Van Vark, the replay official, on site here at AT&T Stadium for this crew led by Mike Vandervelde. Let's bring in our rules expert, Matt Austin. What do you see, Matty?
Well, I think, Joe, and you and Jesse said it exactly right. The ball did obviously touch the ground. He had firm control. There was no movement. Good shot of the laces. Those hands didn't slide down the ball a bit. I think this should be a catch.
And what a big play.
After review, number 12 has firm possession of the ball. It's a completed pass. First down, Arizona State.
And what a big play for this offense, too, because that's going to give Iowa State now something to have to think about on the back end. They've been so concerned with Cam Skattebo. Without Jordan Tyson out there, they haven't been really worried about any of these throws down the field. But after that catch, that now changes, I think, your mindset a little bit if you're Iowa State defensive coordinator Jon Heacock.
Their 5th play of over 20 yards. And everybody's saying, McClain, hey, welcome back to the field. We haven't seen you since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, Jordan Tyson's in a sling. That doesn't mean he can't dance. Nice job celebrating with his teammate.
Play action. Levitt. Off the mark, looking for Guillory.
Yeah, so you complete one, and now you're trying to take another shot down there as well. He wants Guillory to turn around and look at him on a back shoulder throw. There's defensive coordinator Jon Heacock right now, and he's trying to figure out, wait, have they stopped running the ball? Are we now getting the ball thrown all over us? What do I have to do on the back end of this 3-3-5 personnel scheme? If I'm Arizona State, this is not rocket science. Turning around and giving it to number 4.
Now, Cyclones' #1 pass defense in the Big 12. Best scoring defense in the Big 12. But big number 4 can change things in a hurry. Here he goes, Skattebo. And this time he's tripped up right down the line. That was a good job by Tashawn James, the true freshman from Oklahoma City.
And so this is where it can get tricky now on 3rd down if you're Sam Levitt against this defense. A lot of times in these situations, they only rush 3 guys. So 8 guys in coverage, all the eyes on the quarterback. You hold it, you start scrambling. When things get off schedule and you're on the scramble drill, if you're not on the same page with your receiver, generally great things don't happen, and quarterbacks are only completing 52% of their throws against this defense, Joe. It's the 2nd smallest completion in the country.
3rd down and 10. Levitt is pressured, and Levitt is gobbled up, taken down by Dominic Orange and Joey Peterson.
And that was only a 3-man rush, and it was Joey Peterson that won around the outside, and then big citrus Dominic Orange, he's able to finish this up in the middle. Look at the speed off of the edge. It forces Levitt to have to step up just for a second, and 325-pound Dominique Orange able to make the sack. This is a defense, Joe, that only had 15 sacks coming into the year. Big citrus, he's just splashing vitamin C all over it. Dude, we're having fun today. The Jerry World, I don't care. Big 12 championship game. Winner gets into the college football playoff. Back at lunch.
We got 325-pounders dancing, and you're saying they're splashing vitamin C all over it. Oh, what is this, a punt?
Yeah.
What is that?
What's going on?
Defensive line came up huge there. This thing has been back and forth, and then all of a sudden, just a few moments of a surge of defense. Matt Campbell, what a job he has done. 45 years old, 2nd longest tenured head coach. 2nd coach in school history, we said, to coach 100 games at Iowa State. And now a win away from the college football playoff as his team looking to get the ball back here, trailing by a touchdown as Noel secures it inside the 10-yard line. Tomorrow, Sunday NFL Countdown. Why protecting Patrick Mahomes is Kansas City's biggest concern. Plus all the latest updates leading up to kickoff. That's at 10 a.m. And then Monday Night Football from right here at AT&T Stadium in Arlington as the Bengals take on the Cowboys 8 Eastern on ABC and ESPN. And it's Simpson Fun Day football special on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus with the Simpsons cartoon world of Bart and Homer transforming that Monday Night Football game.
That little kid excited for that. I'm excited for that too. That looks pretty cool. This is a big situation, by the way, for Iowa State, Joe. 2:39 left, 3 timeouts in your back pocket, down 7. Remember, Iowa State's going to get the football back first in the 2nd half. They would love to score points here before heading in at halftime.
They're going to go with Jackson. as both running backs were in the backfield there, but he cannot find anything as he's taken down right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, it doesn't have to be throw every play if you're Iowa State offensively either. Here, you're going to have a 2-minute timeout. You're going to have 3 timeouts again, so lots of time and lots of clock for Taylor Mauser right there, their offensive coordinator, and Rocco Beck to work with.
Beck just before the 2-minute timeout as he goes with the quick out and he gets it again to his tight end, Gabe Burkle, and that'll lead us to the 2-minute timeout of what has been such a fun and entertaining go of it. The first time we've ever had Iowa State and Arizona State on the field opposite each other, and it comes in the Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game. The Dr. Pepper tuition toss giveaway is coming up at halftime. Stay tuned to watch 2 deserving students compete for a life-changing grand prize of $100,000 in tuition from Dr. Pepper. Third down and 6 now for Iowa State. Chase back is Beck. Can he find anything? No. Great pursuit by Arizona State. Remember, coming up, we will have the Capital One halftime report. Coach Saban is going to be there live on the field at the SEC Championship alongside Dez and Reese. Get you the latest on everything happening with Texas and Georgia. Coming up next on ABC. Neo is going to be performing with both bands, by the way, here at halftime. We will bring you coverage of that as well. The first 3 and out of the game.
Couldn't have come at a better time.
152.
Yeah, with 2 timeouts as well and a chance to pad their lead before going in at halftime. Expecting Arizona State to get the ball back here in pretty good field position.
Could get great field position depending on the effort by Tyler Perkins, the junior punter from Norwalk, Ohio. Stovall back to receive. Remember, he had the big 63-yard reception earlier tonight. Flag is down as Stovall brings it out to the 49-yard line. We'll see if they walk this back. Mike Vandervelde is the referee, his first championship game. He does a nice job.
During the kick, illegal block in the back, number 38, receiving team, 10 yards from the end of the kick. First down, Arizona State.
Our Dr. Pepper spotlight focuses on Cam Skattebo. 85 yards to this point.
Yeah, everything that we've advertised him to be. This is the very first run of the game. Great job with patience and vision and a newfound speed this year that people haven't seen, and he just is so good running between the tackles, bouncing off of tacklers. His contact bounce is just terrific. And in a game where without their star wide receiver Jordan Tyson, number 4 Skattebo, a little Heisman post, he's really answered the bell for this Arizona State offense.
Listen, he's had a great year, but there is a certain running back at Boise who had a great night again last night, and an all-everything player from Colorado who I think are going to have themselves a really nice weekend in New York next weekend. Listen, this is a new age in college football, the expansion of the 12-team playoff, and it creates opportunities like this. This was an incredibly balanced year in the Big 12. We had a 4-way tie that gave us Iowa State and Arizona State. 2 programs feel like they're playing with house money.
And what's so fun about it, too, Joe, is that everybody's alive for the playoff as long as you're in contention to win your conference.
There's Mr. Contact Balance again. Look at Skattebo go. Tripped up just inside the 20. What an unbelievable first half by Skattebo.
Cooper Ebel was on the receiving end that time of the dump truck, and Skattebo's like, just keep feeding me. You're going to get a pull here and a kick out, but it's Ebel who gets the opportunity right there, 47, and he gets lowered. And if you're Iowa State, I mean, you got to invite friends to the party if you're going to tackle Skattebo. I mean, you got to invite every contact in your phone.
There is no foul on the play. That's an Arizona State player towel.
Because he's not going to go down on the first hit.
53 yards. Jesse, he's averaging 15.3 per carry.
That's a pretty good day. On a day where they absolutely had to have him. And John Haycock, the D coordinator for Iowa State, he's trying to figure out what he needs to do from a schematic standpoint, try and slow number 4 down.
And the way they've opened up drives, their first play of drives gone for 28 yards, 47 yards, 43 yards, and that went for 53 yards. Levitt's going to swing it to him out of the backfield.
Yeah. Listen, get the touches however you need to. And it's funny, you think back to earlier in the year for Arizona State. Skattebo missed the UCF game. It was Jordan Tyson at receiver in that one who really stepped up with 2 big touchdown catches. And it feels like it's the reverse today. Jordan Tyson out, and it's Cam Skattebo doing everything, running and catching the football.
Tyson looks on. Tyson Brown comes in at running back on 2nd and 5. Levitt fakes the pitch. And Levitt looking to scramble again. And once again, he's going to set up a 1st and goal. He did it earlier. He does it here.
He does. It's a 3-man rush. And we saw Skattebo earlier run over Ebel at linebacker. This time, Sadowski has a chance to make a tackle on the redshirt freshman quarterback. And now you're seeing his ability to make people miss, going down right before the goal line, and no surprise, big number 4 back in the game. They're going to try to milk this clock as much as they can. Scoring a touchdown to go up 14 before halftime would be massive. Expecting Skattebo here in the Wildcat.
The whole stadium is. Levitt's under center. Skattebo's the featured tailback here on 1st and goal. And what else would you expect? His 2nd rushing touchdown of the game, 140 yards and 2 touchdowns now for Cam Skattebo.
Yeah, we've seen some fast starts by Skattebo in recent weeks. 3 rushing touchdowns in the first half of his last 2 games. He's putting on a clinic right now. And give Ben Coleman, their left guard, credit. He climbs up here in the 2nd level to get a block into a natural bubble on the left side of that defensive line. And Skattebo, you see the lateral cuts, Joe? He's got really, really good footwork for a big back, able to punch it in.
As Kiefer adds the extra point in his first start of his college career. And it's a 2-touchdown lead for Arizona State. Win and you're in. This guy's in the end zone again.
Joaquin, it's me. You get in?
Copy, you Cap. What are we dealing with, co-pilot? Looks heavily fortified. You got this, Cap?
Wait for it.
Dale! Look, I've got some ideas I've been thinking about for my Falcon suit, and I'm feeling green.
I'm kind of busy right now.
Right, yeah. Whew. But you do like green, though, right? Cap?
Get game ready for the college football playoff with a great haircut from Great Clips. Save money to buy more face paint and save time by using the Great Clips app to get in and out fast. Download the app today.
There is Cam Skattebo getting a well-earned rest over on the sideline. 140 yards, Jesse, and 2 touchdowns on 10 carries. It's not just the way he runs and how skilled he is and how sensational he's been. How much fun is he to watch as a player?
Well,
how much fun?
He just looks like he's having fun himself. And I think that's been one of the things this coaching staff has tried to do, is control a little bit of that. But they have unleashed him this season, and you're seeing all of it.
Now, I want to show you what he looked like pregame as he arrived here at AT&T Stadium with this swag, with the jacket that says boredom kills. There is nothing boring about Cam Skattebo. And then just before he took the field.
Yeah, he's setting his intentions right now to run people over and dish out punishment, hurt people's feelings. He's just taking the energy here at Jerry World.
We put a clock on him. That lasted for over a minute, and the stories that those two could probably tell. Leonard and Becky Skattebo. Rocco Becht on 1st down, steps up in the pocket, drives the ball complete for an 8-yard completion to Higgins. That ball came out at the end there. Three timeouts remaining for Iowa State. Scottaboo's been the star so far of this Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship, but what can Rocco Becht and Iowa State accomplish late, as the officials are going to take time to look at this last play. $19 rushing touchdowns this season, 2
Arizona
today.
State had called their second charge timeout prior to the snap at 8 seconds.
So Arizona State, this team now with 10 wins and a 2-touchdown lead to make the college football playoff. But consider recent years. They vacated 10 wins in 2021, 2022. Sanctions were handed down in April of 2024. Back-to-back 3-9 seasons. And then the Big 12 media picked them dead last.
Yep.
But here they are. Here they are, Jesse.
And it's crazy to think. I mean, you lose a top recruit in Jaden Rashada to Georgia. The chicken found his way into this again. It's the most well-traveled chicken. I mean, he is, or she is, or it is executive plat. I mean, traveling all over the country. It's been remarkable, Joe. Like Kenny Dillingham and his ability to hit the portal, and you find a home run with Sam Levitt out of Michigan State as a redshirt freshman, and what he's meant to this team as well. But their story really is one of the great stories in all of college football this year. To be here at this point after everything they've been through now here in recent years is just unbelievable.
Sama is going to add to his total here in these final seconds. And Rossini, who leads up the athletic department at Arizona State. So many around this program are sitting there so proud of Kenny Dillingham and the staff and these young men who have made a decision to fight through all the adversity of recent years, and behind their star running back who went for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. They have a 14-point lead. Katie.
Thanks, Tess. Kenny, how has Cam Scattaboo set the tone for your team in this title game?
I mean, he's done what he's done all year. I mean, he's breaking tackles. He's faster this year. You can see it on tape. Creating explosive plays, just something we had to do going into this game.
Your defense has forced multiple stops to close out this half. What allowed your group to disrupt Iowa State's long, methodical drives?
Yeah, they had a really good plan to start the game, you know, getting in and out of different calls, check with me's at the line of scrimmage. So we had to have a counterbalance to all their check with me's to try to stop it. And, you know, now there's going to be a different check here coming out of the second half and a different chess match.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The 34-year-old head coach who grew up in Scottsdale. He went to Arizona State. And now with his star running back, a 2-touchdown lead with the college football playoff on the line. The Capital One halftime report is still to come after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. 40 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think Triple H wants to sign him to a developmental deal if the NFL doesn't work out. This guy is a monster here. Could be main eventing this thing, and it's a 24-10 lead for Arizona State. Win, and you're in the college football playoff, Jesse.
Yeah, and listen, you knew coming into this one without their star receiver, Jordan Tyson, they were going to have to be physical offensively and run the football, and they've been that. But we've seen some very creative play calling. This was a critical 4th and 1 early in the game. They decided to go for it and took a shot to Melquan Stovall. But really the story, Joe, is Scattaboo and his contact bounce, his ability to run people over, run through tackles, yards after contact. He's been wearing Iowa State down. Redshirt freshman Sam Levitt taking a big shot before hooking up downfield with the Penn State transfer Malik McClain. And then Scattaboo down short. He has been physical. He's been violent. He's trying to get invited to New York City for the Heisman Trophy. Everything, I think, in all 3 phases for Arizona State right now going their way.
Listen, Ashton and Travis, obviously, you know who's going to be sitting in that front row. I got no problem with Cam Scattaboo being there in New York for that Heisman ceremony. It's a big opportunity for Iowa State to pull back into this thing, getting the ball to open up this second half. Katie.
Yeah, Tess, I asked Matt Campbell, how do you find your offensive rhythm again here to start the second half? He said, I never felt like we felt out of it. He said, we shot ourselves in the foot on the plus side of the 50. We have to execute, especially when we get down in the red zone. And of course, you guys, he mentioned Cam Scattaboo. He said, we have to be gap sound. He's hitting gaps and getting opportunities to get vertical. We got to do a better job, not just to contain him, but to slow him down here in this second half.
Well, Katie, offensively, they're going to have to stay patient because you expect Arizona State to keep playing these big zone coverages. 14 points, there's a lot of football left. They can come back in this. They're going to have to do it running the ball, too.
Rocco Becht, a little bit of pressure as that ball was tipped, it looked like, with all that traffic in there. Remember, it was Iowa State who scored the first touchdown of the game when Becht had the touchdown pass to make it 7-3. But Skattebo just took things over, had the last touchdown scored before halftime. And this went from 10-10 to 24-10.
But it's that right there. It's Arizona State and their zone coverage forcing Iowa State to have to march the ball and drive the field. They're not giving up a lot of explosive plays in the passing game to Higgins and Knoll, and they're comfortable just being patient that way.
Sama looking for a hole. Wow. He is wrapped up and taken down. Arizona State's now fired up.
Yeah.
Simmons in that group.
Yeah, Shamari Simmons just went in there and absolutely cleaned that thing up. Got scoop slammed by Jacob Rich-Kangaika. Now setting up 3rd and long. A substitution for Arizona State. And here comes what you expect to be another big zone coverage with all eyes on Rocco Becht.
Knoll and Higgins, the reliable targets. Can he convert on 3rd and 8?
They're showing blitz and then backing out. Rocco Becht's making checks. So a little cat and mouse game here.
3rd down and 8. Becht with pressure. Steps up in the pocket, and now he's going to try to run for it, and he gets it. They pulled on his jersey, and he surged ahead, and it's a 1st down, Iowa State.
Well, there's the moxie of Rocco Becht, and Prince Dorba at the top of the screen splits a double team. Looks like he's going to get the sack. He can't make the tackle, and there's the 6'1", 210-pound quarterback doing it himself.
And now he just sidearms it on 1st down to Gabe Burkle, who has been a reliable target.
Yeah, and listen, and Rocco Becht's going to have to do that too. If Arizona State keeps dropping guys back in coverage, if it's there, go and get it yourself. And then a nice decision on that last play, just checking it down to the underneath throw. Again, there's so much game left. You're down 2 touchdowns, I get it, but you don't need to panic. You can keep running the football, dinking and dunking, and move down the field.
And with Becht, you just want to stay in ranges. All those game-winning touchdown drives this year that we highlighted to start this broadcast. 2nd and 4. Sama just tripped. A ball came out. The ball came out. Arizona State has it. Fumble recovery. Forks up.
And guess who? Javen Robinson, who's been doing such a great job in coverage in this game, one-on-one against Jaden Higgins. He's the guy that got in there and helped knock this thing loose. Arizona State's been so much better this year at forcing takeaways, putting the helmet right on the football, free from Sama. That is a city fumble. You got to jump on it. It was Big Jeff Clark able to pounce on it. That's the 20th takeaway on the season for Sparky defensively, putting them, Cam Skattebo, back in great field position.
And Jesse, on the other side, that's just the 4th fumble that Iowa State has lost this year. Just the 4th. Skattebo. Look at the extra yardage from the leg drive. He had his back to the defense, and he still gets an extra 5 yards.
Yeah, and he's just pushing the pile, and he's going backwards, and those legs just never stop driving. He's had an entire halftime now to catch his breath, get a second wind. That's bad news right now for the Cyclone defense.
This guy was so grossly under-recruited. Spent 2 years at Sacramento State playing FCS football. And now he's a megastar trying to lead his team to the college football playoff. Skattebo took 2 to get him down. It'll be 3rd and about 2.5 yards.
Man, you take a look at the stats and what Skattebo's doing after contact here. 95 rushing yards after contact is almost as many as the Cyclones have as an offense in this game.
That's amazing. Speaks volumes about his style of play, his determination, the ruggedness, that bruising effect. Third down and 2. Levitt pulls it, and Levitt is tackled for a loss. He was brought down by Miles Purchase.
I don't think that was a good decision by Levitt that time, and you got to give Iowa State credit because they stayed patient, but he's reading the end man on the line of scrimmage way out here, and if he just hesitates, this ball's got to go to Skattebo inside. I think Levitt thought with his speed he could beat him. That's a corner. You're trying to beat to the outside, and Miles Purchase, great job defensing that zone read.
4th and 6. Skattebo is split out wide on 4th and 6. Remember, they converted earlier today. Here's 4th down. Levitt straight ahead. Levitt's going to move the chains.
That's a couple times now in the last 2 drives that Jack Sadowski at linebacker has not been able to tackle Sam Levitt one-on-one. They had a really good defense. They were dropping 8 guys in coverage, hoping that he was going to take off. This is a tackle that needs to be made right here. Got him in space, but the redshirt freshman, man, his legs and his ability to scramble, it's been such a big component in the Sun Devil offense this season.
He goes for 9 yards on what was 4th and 6. And that is incomplete as he was trying to get the ball to Stovall.
That's a ball that Sam Levitt has to get rid of just a little bit sooner. Right when Stovall was coming out of his break, this ball needs to be thrown. It wasn't. It allowed the defender to close the gap. That time, Beau Freyler doing a nice job breaking that pass up.
Beau Freyler, who's the heart and soul of the team. The coach will tell you he is everything to the success that they have had this season. Second down, Skattebo spinning and still driving with defenders draped on him.
Yeah, Iowa State plays a 3-3-5 scheme. So they've got 3 D linemen, 3 linebackers, and they've got 3 safeties in the back end. And they're all right now with this run game, playing 10 yards off the ball, and they are flying downhill. And this is John Haycock, their D coordinator's answer to try to stop this rushing attack. And we can get more bodies, even if they're not big bodies, just more hats to try and slow down Skattebo.
John Haycock was very honest with his assessment in the lead up to this, saying we may not be built to deal with this bruising running attack. How are they built here on 3rd and 3? Well, as he said, the bulldozer goes ahead, and it's a first down.
It's a good point, Joe, because Arizona State has faced defenses that play similar personnel groupings. Mississippi State gave up 350 rushing yards.
Wow.
To Arizona State. Cincinnati runs a similar personnel grouping. They gave up 200. And then Kansas State runs a similar personnel grouping. They were on their defense was on the field for 36 minutes of that game. This scheme has never been able to slow down Skattebo in this offense this year. And John Haycock says, look, this is what I've coached for 9 years. We're not going to change in the biggest game of the season, but what a challenge for them now here in the second half to be more physical and try to slow this down.
Levitt on first down. To the end zone, and that was nearly intercepted.
Give all the credit there to Shimon Mateer breaking that pass up, because Jeremiah Cooper had a pick in the end zone on this wheel route. He did a great job in coverage. He was all over it. He's going to high point it. And Mateer went from playing tight end to DB really quickly on this play. Ooh.
Cooper had 5 interceptions last year, has 2 already this year.
Climbed the ladder, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. So they dodged that, and now it is 2nd and 10. This after the forced fumble and recovery. Skattebo patiently looking and just pushing bodies aside.
You said patiently, Joe. That's one aspect of his game that I think is so undervalued. He lets the block set up, and this is a scheme where they're constantly pulling linemen. That time, Max Ihanachor, the right tackle, who's so athletic, he was able to get out front. And for a big bruiser, he lets everything develop. He takes his time, and when he sees the crease, he gets north.
You mentioned Ihanachor, number 58. He is a legit NFL prospect and paving the way for Skattebo. 3rd and 3. Levitt gets it out quickly to Brown, and Brown will have the 1st and goal set up for the Sun Devils.
And that's the versatility of Brown, right? We talked about not just getting handoffs out of the backfield as Rocco Beck looks on. Another long drive from Arizona State, waiting for another opportunity. But Kyson Brown, a big role he plays in this offense too, spelling Cam Scadaboo, but also making plays in a lot of different ways for Kenny Dillingham and his coaching staff.
First and goal. Levitt. Touchdown, Gilreath.
Well, Iowa State's had enough of this running stuff with Scadaboo, and so they're now just loading the box down here, and they're just having to deal with one-on-ones outside. 9 different guys close to the line of scrimmage, all in right here. And here's the one-on-one matchup outside that Sam Levitt's going to take advantage of. Just running to the corner. Coverage not good enough. That's an easy pitch and catch.
And the costly turnover for Iowa State when they had the ball to start the second half. And Arizona State takes advantage as Levitt finds Gilreath. And all of a sudden, it's a 3-touch championship as part of Dr. Pepper Championship Week. Great crowd here at AT&T Stadium. Xavier Gilreath just had the touchdown catch moments ago. A turnover that became a quick 7 for Arizona State. This is Jackson on the return. And Jackson taken down just beyond the 20-yard line. By the way, Jesse, Xavier Gilreath with this touchdown celebration, because he is part of the Nez Perce tribal nation, and he takes great pride in his Native American heritage. In fact, he recently spoke to a youth clinic that was sponsored by the Fiesta Bowl. He said natives can ball too, and he was a great source of inspiration.
Well, he's coming up big in a game where they don't have their go-to guy, Jordan Tyson, at wide receiver. Massive play by Gilreath. Not last drive.
Rocco Becht and this Cyclones offense needs to find something. A little sloppy pre-snap when the flags come in.
False start. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
This is normally a team so good with penalties. Only 4 penalties a game average coming into this one. 4th best in the country. And I think if you're Matt Campbell, all of a sudden the sense of urgency does have to go up now after fumbling on the last drive and Arizona State scoring a touchdown. Now, from a tempo standpoint, you've got to start thinking about going faster. Get back in this thing.
Here's Becht with time. That ball fluttered, and that ball is picked off. That is Abney with the interception. Keith Abney. That ball may have been deflected as it fluttered. So now a forced fumble and recovery and an interception on back-to-back drives.
Yeah, it looked like Rocco Becht in the pocket that time, Joe. Sort of sidearmed it, and I think it hit his own right tackle, Tyler Miller. Miller's 6'9". See 66 right here. Watch this. He sidearmed it when he had a clear lane to throw into. It went off his helmet, got deflected, and Abney able to make the pick.
So the ricochet off of the right tackle's helmet and then into the hands of Abney.
I just don't know if he had to throw from that arm slot on that play. At a wide open lane right in front of him to deliver the football normally.
And this is just a brutal start to the second half for Iowa State. And they got the ball to start the second half. You're looking to piece something together, and it's back-to-back turnovers. The fumble lost, and now the interception. And Levitt, he was just mauled and sent back.
Yeah, well,
that was James straight in his face.
So Iowa State is again now trying to put as many bodies at the line of scrimmage, and this time bringing pressure off both edges. Nice job by Tashawn James swatting that thing down. Arizona State fans want roughing the passer, but they've got to stop the bleeding. And this is an Iowa State defense that's only averaging giving up 8 points per second half this season. They've made the adjustments in the past. What kind of adjustments can they make here going against this bruising running back in Scadaboo in this Arizona State offense?
2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Levitt gets it up quickly and wrapped up immediately that time with Stovall. That was Jeremiah Cooper there defensively.
Well, we talked about Scadaboo and pass protection and what he's able to do, and we showed you a highlight at the start of the year. You know, you just got to get it done. It's not only always about pancaking people. Sometimes you get pancaked yourself. But he gets it done, and he gives Sam Levitt an opportunity to get through that. Kind of like a scorpion suplex, kind of there.
Could be.
The WWE in your world.
Sponsors of this game. Why we saw Triple H earlier today. Scadaboo all the way to the top of your screen on 3rd and 5. Split out wide is the star running back. Levitt lofting it to the end zone. What a catch! Gilreath again! And now even more reason for him to celebrate as he does right there, taking great pride in his Native American heritage.
Phenomenal job that time by Sam Levitt. Understanding in an empty set, they're blitzing 6. I've only got 5 guys to block, so this ball has to come out quickly. Where's my best matchup? And the guy he just hit on a slot fade for a touchdown. The previous drive wins one-on-one that time against Miles Purchase. Back shoulder, unbelievable catch. The catch radius from Guillory, just sensational.
Sure, you could hear the roar from the Nez Perce Reservation in Idaho. 38-10. How about this effort from Xavier Guillory?
Well, they've had big-time players out of this game, but we've seen multiple guys for Arizona State, a wide receiver, step up and make plays. None bigger than Xavier Guillory, and it's sparking him in this one. Oh, but I think Arizona State here, I mean, this is a pretty impressive statement they're making in their biggest game of the year.
As Hansen takes it ahead, and he'll go for 9 yards at AT&T Bracket Insight. You can sign up now at ESPN.com for the first ever CFP Bracket Challenge. Of course, things could be even more tricky when you start sizing up the college football playoff. If Clemson is to upset SMU in the ACC championship tonight on ABC, because then you would have a 3-loss conference ACC champion, Clemson. And you have Arizona State, if this holds up. Play caller by Arroyos, who gets it to Stovall.
You got to give them credit. I mean, they came in knowing that other guys were going to have to step up in the passing game, and that's exactly what we've seen. Guillory, 2 touchdown catches his last two drives. Melquan Stovall had the big catch on 4th and 1 earlier in the game. Malik McClain, the transfer from Penn State, had a big catch as well. It really has been by committee. Trying to take over from the production that guy had. Joe, that guy's a difference maker.
Jordan Tyson just watching his offense roll without him, and he has been exceptional this season. Over 1,100 yards and 10 touchdown receptions, but they're picking up the pieces. 3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Another touchdown for the big bruiser.
No block, no rock. That's what wide receiver coach Hines Ward tells his players. Look at the job these receivers and tight ends do out here on the perimeter. There's Stovall getting a big block there. Try hard play. Mateer gets a big block, and they just pave a way for Scadaboo on the swing pass. This group of receivers not afraid to put their face in the fan. Guillory got a great block out there as well.
And these turnovers, 21 points off the 3 turnovers in this 3rd quarter. Scadaboo has 2 rushing touchdowns, this receiving touchdowns, and over 200 yards of total offense. It is all sparking. The SEC championship game, Georgia and Texas coming up. Kirby Smart and the Dogs, and there is Coach Sark and the Horns, year number 1 in the SEC, and then the number 2 team in the country looking to claim the SEC championship game. Sark always with the sartorial splendor of the unique look. It's a monochromatic.
Listen, it costs a lot of money.
He's going with the burnt orange on top of the solid black shirt.
Feeling the tunes too there. You see that?
Oh, absolutely. He always
himself a little bit. Yeah.
Hey, let's go to the studio and check in with Kev.
It's time now for All-State check-in. MAC championship book here, and Ohio's Parker Navarro is having himself a day.
I love Kev. They're changing the launch point in the pocket, rolling him out to the right, and what an athletic throw on the run by Navarro.
Finds Coleman Owen. Navarro 4 total touchdowns, 2 in the air, 2 in the ground. Ohio up 31-3 against Miami of Ohio. End of the third. Back to you.
Kevin and Booger just settle in. We got a long day of ball at the championship level ahead of us. That guy's been the superstar to start the day. Cam Scatteroo, who now this season's over 2,000 rushing yards and 500 receiving yards.
Send him to New York City.
Rocco Becht, as he drives the ball complete for a first down for Iowa State to Higgins.
Well, turnovers, that's been the story here in the second half for this Arizona State defense. They've done an outstanding job creating a fumble here. It's Javen Robinson early, and then self-inflicted wound on a deflected pass off of an offensive lineman. Keith Abney turns up with that, and then it's Justin Watley able to pounce on this last one, and they've taken the 3 turnovers and turned them into 3 touchdowns.
There's Beck. After that 14-yard completion, we'll go to Hansen, and Hansen just dives ahead for a gain of a couple too. Rocco Becht, the son of Anthony Becht, the former longtime NFL tight end, first-round draft pick, current head coach in the UFL, and a former colleague of ours.
And I was going to say, all-time great guy.
He really is.
One of the all-time great dudes, and obviously a phenomenal athlete. No surprise to see Rocco Becht having the success he's had this year. And they need him right now. We talked about how good he's been late in games for Iowa State. Boy, he's got to turn it on and start letting it loose.
Second and 5 for Rocco. Going to check down. That's a struggle for Hansen to get going anywhere as he was tackled immediately by McCullough.
You're seeing Arizona State right now defensively just fly around all over the place and playing with more confidence, playing more free. I think these last couple takeaways for them now, their last 5 drives, they have absolutely stoned Iowa State's offense. This is probably as good as Arizona State's defense has looked to me all season long.
Pressure on 3rd and 9. Gets it out quickly. Back shoulder and complete. Outstanding job by Higgins.
They haven't had a lot of chances in one-on-one islands for Jaden Higgins in this game. They finally found one there on 3rd down. Arizona State decided to heat them up with pressure. And Rocco Becht found the matchup. He found his 6'4" receiver, and that time finally able to beat Javen Robinson outside.
18-yard completion there. Hansen on the ground, upended right near the line of scrimmage. That was tackled by Elliott.
You know, it's interesting. Arizona State's a pretty good run defense, and their D-line is not a great pass rushing D-line, and by D-line standards, they're actually undersized, but Joe, they're very physical, and they stay in their gaps, and they allow linebackers like Keyshawn Elliott right there to play downhill. Second best run defense in the Pac-12, and ironically, 4 of the top 11 running backs in college football this year play in the Big 12. You're used to saying air raid, throw it all over the place. It's been a really good running conference.
Final seconds here of this 3rd quarter. Becht incomplete. He was looking for Newgoy.
Well, the last 3rd and long, Brian Ward, defensive coordinator for Arizona State, decided to try to heat Rocco Becht up with some pressure, and they got burned by Jaden Higgins down the boundary. We're going to see what he does this time. Big substitution now. Fresh bodies, fresh pass rush. Jeff Clark out there, Clayton Smith out there for Arizona State. But what is this look going to be on 3rd down?
Third down and 10 to close out the 3rd quarter. And it is complete as he gets it to Knowles. Going to be a couple yards short of that line to gain as we come to the end of this 3rd quarter. Of course, the SEC championship game. Carson Beck leading Georgia against Texas. What a showdown. Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship game returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Love, and rightfully so, but how impressive was your defense's performance in that third quarter?
I mean, 3 straight stops, 3 straight turnovers, short fields, offense has finished, just complimentary football. Obviously, we got to finish this football game. Nothing catastrophic, but really proud of the guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Going to start this fourth quarter with a 4th and 3 for Iowa State. Rocco Becht is just blown up. I mean, lit up by Shamari Simmons. Human missile to start the fourth quarter.
They got to look at targeting for this, Joe.
Oh, man. You just hope Rocco Becht is okay.
And Shamari Simmons came untouched on the blitz, but it looked like forcible contact was made to the head and neck area of Rocco Becht. And I hope Rocco Becht's okay.
Medical staff out there immediately to look at Rocco Becht.
I mean, this might be...
Previous play of the quarterback being sacked is under further review.
I mean, this is forcible contact to the neck or head area, and it also might be crown of the helmet as well. All the indicators that you're looking for.
That's a great sign that he's up and walking and seemingly clear-headed right now.
Well, we talked about him being tough, and I mean, there are not a lot of guys that would get up that quickly after taking a hit like that.
Thank goodness.
Yes. All right, here it comes. It's coming right here. Oh, and it's right in the face. And it's maybe not crown of the helmet, but it's definitely forcible contact right into the face of Rocco Becht, and this should be targeted.
Matt Austin, our rules expert, chime in here.
Yeah, I could not agree more with Jesse. This is definitely a hit that needs to be out of the game. He's a defenseless player, so you can't hit him in the head and neck area, which he definitely does. You're right, it's not targeting. It is a hit that's high, though. He does lower his head.
After review, there is a foul for targeting by number 7 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down for Iowa State, and number 7 has been disqualified for the remainder of the game.
And Matt, correct me if I'm wrong here. I mean, that means he's not playing in the first half of the college football playoff game if this score holds.
Yes, that is exactly correct.
And that would be a big loss, too, guys, because this is a leader in the back end. Kenny Dillingham doesn't agree with it, but that is a big loss, whoever they have to play in the playoff, in whichever round of the playoff, to not have number 7 in the back end. That's not good. Watch this live and just listen to this. The fact that Rocco Becht got up as quickly as he did, and Joe, the fact that Rocco Becht somehow didn't fumble that ball, I have no idea how that happened.
Amazing. We're just so happy to see him up on his feet walking around as Connor Moberly, the true freshman from Altoona, comes into the game after the targeting penalty.
Just looking at the body language of Rocco Becht there, it didn't seem like he's in a rush to get back in the game right now. And not sure if he's been evaluated already or not, but at this point, Matt Campbell happy to keep the true freshman Moberly out there.
So Connor Moberly, the true freshman, comes in. Aiden Flora is in at running back. And he is tackled for a loss as he is driven back immediately by Clayton Smith.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Clayton Smith. He's having a nice game, and I think he's their best pass rusher. He got hurt in their game against Arizona pretty early, missed the rest of it, but having him back on the field has had an impact. Knocked the ball down the very first play of this game. We saw him get involved in a takeaway a few possessions ago. This is a guy in the playoff in the next round. If they make it, this is a guy they need to step up. He's got to be a force on defense.
Connor Moberly in at quarterback, the true freshman. Rocco Becht out after that brutal targeting. As Connor goes ahead for a couple yards, it'll be third down and about 10.
Moberly was not highly recruited. Northern Iowa, the only school to offer him a scholarship, so obviously had a lot of success in high school.
Back-to-back state championships in Iowa.
6'4". He has certain things you can't coach. We were down on the field pregame watching him throw it around, and he can spin it. But he's been put in a pretty precarious situation here down 35 points in the fourth quarter against an Arizona State defense playing with a lot of confidence.
Timeout is going to be used as you see the championship trophy on the right, the WWE-styled Most Outstanding Player title on the left.
Sidelines. Beck walked up to the doctor and said, am I out? Am I good to go? The doctor said, let's go back to the locker room, do a few more tests before we make a decision.
Katie, it was Simmons, who you see there, who's been ejected from this game on a free run. One of the biggest, most vicious hits we've seen in college football this season as the flag comes in as the intended receiver, Knoll, was tripped up.
Javen Robinson one-on-one with Knoll out there. And I don't know about
interference.
PI. It looked like
defense, spot foul, automatic first down.
it almost looked to me like Knoll might have tripped Robinson. Look out here on the right side. So there is a bit of a jersey grab right there. I think that's what they're calling, and that's why he went to the ground. He gets tackled at the end of the play, but the flag was thrown before he went down. It was the right call.
Mobley in the game, the true freshman quarterback. Born and raised in Iowa, back-to-back state high school championships. Jackson can't find any room whatsoever as he's tackled by Fight.
Fight is so good at the point of attack. On this last play, he just did a great job up front, one-on-one with Jared Hufford, and just beat him. He was able to get both hands engaged right here and watch him extend the arms, find the football in a two-gap, and he's able to make the tackle. You simply cannot do it any better than that.
Moberly. He's going to tuck and run. That's actually what he does best, is use the wheels. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Of course, if you're Taylor Mauser right now, an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, okay, what does my true freshman feel good about in my play calls and the packages and the different schemes and the personnel group? It's going to be a lot different than Rocco Becht. And coordinators and play callers talk to their quarterbacks throughout the week when the game plan comes out and say, okay, if you're in the game, in these situations, down tight in the red zone, what pass concepts do you like the best? And that's what he's having to dial up right now.
Here he is on 3rd and goal. To the end zone, and he overthrows Higgins, who was on the slant.
And I love what Taylor Mauser did from a motion standpoint. He had Carson Hansen go out and come back in. The safety followed him, showing the true freshman quarterback that was man coverage. And, of course, he had his receiver one-on-one outside on the slant. Just couldn't connect with Jaden Higgins. Inaccurate throw now forces the field goal try.
And they're just going to let their offense have a small win here of having points go up on the board with
you're just conceding things at this point. Right?
Absolutely, you are. Obviously, down this big of a hole and kicking field goals here in a spot like this on 4th and goal, which they do. You hate to see the hit that Rocco Becht took as he is out of the game. Texas and Georgia still to come, the SEC championship on ABC. There is Quinn Ewers leading the Horns, looking for a championship. More. You know, those Arizona State students here are going to be enjoying the night ahead, and the ones back in Tempe are probably at the Devil's Advocate already enjoying their
I think so. Afternoon. Yeah, I've heard about that place from our very own Matt Berry, who's back in studio right now. You know, he's just loving this right here.
Was he a bartender there?
I don't know if he was there, but he was a very good bartender. You're talking about a Hall of Famer from the Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State. Could pour you a pretty good old-fashioned.
Here's the squibber to try to just get into that hollow zone between the onside hands team. Katie?
Yeah, Tess, Rocco Becht has returned to Iowa State's sideline. He checked in with the doctor one last time, as well as Matt Campbell. He said, I'm good to go. I can return. They handed him his helmet back. And this is a guy, guys, that Matt Campbell told us, his toughness, both physical and mental, has rallied this team all season long. I think it says a lot about him as a player and as a teammate that he wants to finish this game, given the score, with his guys.
Katie, he's done it before. You think about the Ohio game last year early when he had the flu, didn't get any sleep. He's puking before the game, puking during the game, and still playing. Galvanizes his team.
Meanwhile, one of the veterans of college football in recent years, Jeff Sims, is in at quarterback as Brooks takes the carry. Of course, the well-traveled Jeff Sims, who we saw early on in his career at Georgia Tech, and then went to Nebraska, started 25 games at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, big athletic guy with a live arm. He can do things that wow you, and at times will put the ball into harm's way. As Rocco Becht is looking on, everybody checking in with him. You can just tell just how people feel on that Iowa State sideline about their quarterback, what he means to this offense, to this football team. It's just so good seeing him walking around, appearing to be okay.
DeCarlos Brooks in at running back here as he will get the carry again. Listen, you're going to see it all night long, and thank goodness Rocco Becht is back out with his teammates, walking around, having conversations, but this is what happened earlier in this second half, Jesse.
Yeah, this is Shamari Simmons coming through on a blitz, untouched, and targeting on Becht. I don't know how Becht held onto this football and didn't fumble, but the forcible contact to the head or neck area of a defenseless opponent cost Simmons the rest of this game, and now the first half of their college football playoff game, whoever that's against. And that's a big loss for Arizona State's defense.
Listen, we can make the assumption when you look at how things play out that Arizona State likely would be the 12. You don't know. Let's see what happens with Clemson tonight against SMU. Of course, Boise doing the job. Flag is in as they run it straight up the middle. But the system of the college football playoff, where the top 4 conference champions get seeded 1 through 4 and get the bye, that is the focus now.
It's going to be an illegal formation.
Illegal formation, more than 4 players lined up in the backfield on the offense. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
You know, you consider that Arizona State now is coming in for a nice landing to make the college football playoff, but look at their chances.
I mean,
this was the playoff predictor in the last 5 weeks.
Yeah, they're 5-2 at this point, and then they go on a run, winning 5 in a row, and each and every week the percentages get better and better and better. And obviously, we know with the win today, we're saying 99%.
Yeah, by the way, that 44% was coming into today. Obviously, with the score of 45-13 with the clock counting down the 4th quarter, I think you can start booking travel. Canyon Floyd on to punt. True freshman who grew up right nearby campus. As this settles in right near the 32-yard line. College football playoff rankings are brought to you by AT&T.
The thing I love about the 12-team college football playoff is you're not just looking at which 12 teams get in, but who get the first 4 seeds and a bye going in, then who finishes 5-8 and gets a home game in the first round, and what else. It's not just who's going to make it inside. And what you've got to remember is rankings are different than seedings, and right now the winner of this game expected to get in. Obviously that would knock Miami out, and if Clemson is to beat SMU and SMU stays in, that also potentially knocks out Alabama. So a lot to be decided here in the games today.
Rocco Becht is back in the game. As Katie said, he wanted to finish it off. That was batted down with the edge rush. As O'Neal got his hand up. Rocco Becht, who has now thrown a touchdown pass in 17 straight games. It's an Iowa State record, but took the brutal hit just minutes ago, was evaluated by the medical staff, and has returned to action.
Well, I got to tell you, I think Iowa State fans should be really excited about what's coming next season. There's only 14 players on this roster in their final year of eligibility that can come back next year. They're going to be loaded, and Rocco Becht obviously a huge part of that.
Jalen Jackson will take it ahead as he's tackled by O'Neal.
Think about this team reaching the Big 12 championship game, and it appears that they're going to come up short here in this one, but no doubt. The job Matt Campbell has done building this program, resetting the expectation, and finding a difference maker in Rocco Becht, a quarterback. Obviously, they found one in Brock Purdy. We saw what happened there in Ames. But I think Rocco Beck, I really do believe the sky is the limit for this guy here at Iowa State as well.
They cite his toughness all the time, galvanizing the locker room. Well, how about being this tough to come back into the game as he runs it ahead and doesn't slide? He goes face first for the first down.
And just the awareness, too, of knowing where the first down marker is and where he has to get to. And you'd think after taking a big shot like that, you're going down. You're sliding at this point, but Montana Warren's bearing down on him in the second level, and he's taking the hit and keeping the chains moving.
Incomplete as he was looking for Carson Brown.
Okay, can we talk about Kenny Dillingham for a second? Should he not just be Coach of the Year?
Yes,
After this game today and winning, when you consider back-to-back 3-9 seasons Arizona State has. He's 34 years old. He comes in after all the NCAA sanctions, after the investigation. And you lose Jaden Rashada, a prized recruit. And he crushes the transfer portal. Sam Levitt comes in as a redshirt freshman. He's been great. The fact that they're in this game, headed to the college football playoff in their first year in the Big 12.
Beck takes a shot downfield, incomplete. He was looking for Eskelsen. But Kenny Dillingham, 34-year-old head coach of Arizona State, 8.5 minutes away from the college football playoff.
Yeah, he's got to be the guy. I mean, if anybody had come up to you and I, Joe, at the start of the year and said, hey, guys, guess what? Want to know who's going to make the first 12-team college football playoff? Arizona State.
No way.
Laughed in their face.
There's no way.
Based on what this program has had to go through in recent years. Kenny Dillingham, a guy who went to ASU, who wanted to be a coach, a tremendous story during his time in college, Joe.
Well, he dedicated himself to the coaching craft while he was a college student. 3rd down and 10 now for Beck as he gets it complete, but Knowles going to be short of that line to gain. While he was a student at Arizona State, he was coaching freshman high school football linebackers at his alma mater, then helping with the JV team, then helping with the varsity team, then swapping tape. He was working as a high school freshman coach.
His boys are out like enjoying Arizona State, as they should, and he's on Wednesday nights going to the freshman game at high school. It's just remarkable. And he finally breaks through at ASU as an offensive assistant for Mike Norvell, follows him around to Memphis and Florida State. Now here he is leading his alma mater into the college football playoff.
Here's 4th down and 3 for Iowa State as Rocco Beck is going to go for more than 3 and get it on the back shoulder to Higgins. So this is nice to see Rocco Beck doing that. But Kenny Dillingham also at 34 years old being aware enough to be able to delegate to veterans like Brian Ward as defensive coordinator, Marcus Arroyo, who had been a head coach at UNLV.
And he got those guys 3-year extensions too, and offensive and defensive coordinators here recently, which is big for the continuity of this program now moving forward, because they've got a lot of good players coming back next year as well.
After the 4th down conversion, a touchdown catch to Jalen Knoll goes Rocco Beck, and good for Rocco Beck, taking that big of a hit and showing leadership and guts and toughness, coming back into the game and striking.
And he's just slinging it too. I mean, he's out there taking shots downfield, and we've seen some really nice, accurate throws. That scramble where instead of sliding, he went and got the first down. The toughness is just something you cannot measure. Looks like they're going to stay on the field. Rocco Beck's got to go get his helmet, Joe. He's got to get back out there again. Great job by Knoll here in the slot fade, winning one-on-one.
So the place kicker comes off. Beck goes back in there. By the way, Knoll, his 45th consecutive game with a catch, with that 25-yard touchdown catch moments ago. Dos Equis go for Dos. Iowa State lined up for the 2-point attempt. Did we call enough of those in Georgia and Georgia Tech last week?
I think we did. Still trying to process what happened in that game.
Two-point conversion to the end zone. That is denied as he was looking for Burkle. So Rocco Beck took the massive hit to the head, comes back into the game, throws the touchdown pass, then goes over his teammates, and they start hitting him on the head, saying, "Attaboy, attaboy, how about we don't hit me in the head?"
Dude, stop. Have you been watching the game? Joe,
Jesse, and Katie with you here at AT&T Stadium, where They try to, again, just get it over that initial hands line.
I can't do this don't give up thing all by myself. This whole fight, this journey thing is not a solo venture. This is something that requires support.
It's V Week at ESPN. We partner with the V Foundation, highlight the urgent need for cancer research, game-changing research that helps save lives. You can join the fight. Visit v.org/donate. 100% of those donations goes directly to cancer research. Jeff Sims is in at quarterback for Arizona State as Sam Leavitt's day is done. And he will carry the ball ahead. Jeff Sims will towards midfield. Cam Skattebo obviously, can shut him down and send him to New York for the Heisman front row at 16 carries for 170 yards.
That guy right there, though, deserves a lot of credit in this one, too. And I know we're talking a lot about Skattebo, and we should, and the defense coming up with those takeaways. But look at the efficient day Sam Leavitt has had. Throwing completions, throwing touchdowns without his #1 go-to wide receiver, Jordan Tyson. The redshirt freshman transfer from Michigan State. All season long decision-making's been really, really impressive. And you see his poise show up each and every week.
Grew up in Oregon, was the #1 quarterback being recruited out of the state then, but went to Michigan State. Comes back out west to Arizona State. It's all smiles as you look up at that clock and you think about heading to the college football playoff.
Yeah, and in this game, he's been pretty good. I mean, down here, close, tight. You get a lead block by Skattebo out front, able to run it in. And when he's had the one-on-one opportunities, particularly here early in the second half to Guillory, he's been given his big receiver opportunities to make plays. Swinging it out to Skattebo, that's a stat builder for a quarterback on a swing route. Letting the big fella do the rest, but Kenny Dillingham, he thinks that Sam Leavitt is a guy that's going to play on Sundays, who's going to have that opportunity. And obviously, Kenny Dillingham's been around a lot of good collegiate quarterbacks, and Bo Nix, Jordan Travis at Florida State. He's got another really good one in Leavitt.
There's Brooks, and Brooks with a good run for a first down. And he's good at handling pressure, right? He's third in the Big 12 this year in completion percentage against the blitz, and he's only obviously a redshirt freshman.
And he's only thrown 5 interceptions all year long, which as a freshman is really impressive because you want to stat it up, you want to throw touchdowns, you want to prove to your teammates and the fans that you're a big part of this offense, but he never lets the moment get too big. He's always able to play within himself. And the fact that a redshirt freshman is leading this team into the college football playoff obviously helps when you have what we think should be a Heisman finalist playing running back. But Sam Leavitt, the leadership he's shown this year has also been remarkable.
Sims again on the quarterback run on first down as he gets to the edge and has another first down. Tomorrow it is the College Football Playoff Selection Show presented by AT&T. Reese and the crew, they will reveal the final rankings and put together that bracket for the first ever 12-team playoff. It's noon Eastern on ESPN. I've said it all year long. Listen, I am thrilled that we have a 12-team playoff. A lot to be decided in Atlanta. Quinn Ewers and the Longhorns against Georgia. That is the heavyweight clash of the day. The SEC Championship coming up next on ABC. But Jesse, just to finish the point about the college football playoff, I'm thrilled we got a 12-team playoff. We had the most relevant football in the month of November that we have had in years. But I think already you're seeing some of the flaws with the system. First and foremost for me is, yes, I understand 5 highest ranked conference champs in. But why double reward them of giving the top 4 the first round buys? Make it like college basketball. You win a conference championship, you're an automatic qualifier, you're in. But then let's see this thing properly.
Yeah, not all conferences are created equal, essentially, is what you're saying. And wins and losses mean different things in different conferences based on strength of record. And, it's not to say that there's not going to be some more tweaks after this year to the playoff format, Joe, and that remains to be determined. I've personally just loved how important the games have been late in the season this year.
Love it.
The other thing I love, Joe, as fans, we're going to see the best players in college football keep playing games. We're in an era now in recent years where if you're not playing for a national championship, you're opting out. If you're a guy trying to protect your draft stock. But imagine a guy like Skattebo, Ashton Jeanty at Boise State. These are guys that if they wanted to could skip the next game, but now because they're still in the national championship hunt, as fans, we get to see these guys keep playing in the biggest games, and that's where I think we get the biggest win.
I completely agree. Game after game down the stretch of this season, we have had meaningful football with an impact on what will be the first ever 12-team college football playoff, and still so much drama and results that could impact things, especially with what we get tonight in the ACC championship. If Clemson wins the ACC with 3 losses, could close out that bottom end of the field where, you know, you're sitting there with a team like Alabama, hoping to hang on to the cliff's edge.
And that's what's made this game, to me and you, I think, so much fun, and Katie as well, is that in the SEC title game and in the Big Ten title game, and maybe even in the ACC title game, if Clemson wins, both teams in all those title games, the Power 4 conferences likely get in. This was one where it was truly like a playoff game.
Oh, this was a playoff
It's like
game.
You win, you're in. You lose, you're out.
Absolutely. This is 4th down and 12. And that play clock will come right down. They will take the delay of game penalty. I think Dillingham was like, maybe we should have been a little more aware than that, but nonetheless, he just keeps it on the field for what will be a 4th and 17 as they want to get to that trophy ceremony. It'll be the big trophy handed out for the Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game, and then that most outstanding player championship title belt that you would think Cam Skattebo, with 16 carries for 170, 2 rushing touchdowns, and then a receiving touchdown. There was a stretch of this game where he was unstoppable.
No, that's a lock. I mean, he's going to be getting that. And now the challenge for whoever they play in the playoff, how do you stop him?
This is 4th and 17 as Sims will just run it ahead. And that'll be the turnover on downs.
And I've been thinking about that here in the 4th quarter, Joe. I'm trying to predict what might happen today in these conference title games and who Arizona State might end up playing. I think we expect them to be the 12th seed going in. And
well, can we have that conversation just for a moment? If you get Clemson with 3 losses as the ACC, we're making the assumption that because the win that Clemson would have is a top 10 win over a top 10 SMU, that they would go ahead of this conference.
Yeah, that's the assumption there. And so,
do you agree with that? Or is it a tough call?
No, I don't agree with that. Especially after how Arizona State has played. If Clemson wins and it's tight, the way Arizona State has played here today, in my opinion, it should be Arizona State ranked ahead.
Which would mean Arizona State would be one of the top 4 seeds. Likely the 4. Boise would be the 3. Clemson would then go down to the lower
slot. But if SMU wins that game, then Arizona State's going to be the 12th seed.
That's exactly correct.
And then you're wondering, who do they play? And I'm just thinking, okay, in the Big Ten title game, if Oregon beats Penn State, then I guess you're assuming Notre Dame moves up, and it's Arizona State, Notre Dame on the road in South Bend in that weather.
Because Notre Dame cannot get one of the top 4 because they don't have a conference to win. So, yeah, it would possibly be Arizona State at South Bend just before Christmas. Imagine that. 2-minute timeout. Sparky's ready to celebrate. 3rd quarter, and 3 straight big touchdowns by Arizona State that broke this game wide open.
Yeah, it was Guillory making a big catch here to make it 31-10. Very next drive, same thing. Blitz, cover 0, nobody deep. Take another shot. Phenomenal grab that time by Guillory. And then we got Skattebo out in the passing game as well. Great job blocking downfield by the wideouts, making a walk-in score. And that's what blew this game open.
Reminder, the SEC championship game, Georgia and Texas, is coming up next right here on ABC. Final 2 minutes here as Iowa State, as their true freshman quarterback Moberly into the game. Trevor Etienne, there he is, former Florida star, of course, this year with Georgia, part of that great talent-loaded roster for Kirby.
That's a great news, too, for Georgia. He ran the ball really, really well in that first game against Texas. Has missed some time recently with the rib injury, but no doubt having his explosive playmaking ability on offense for Georgia against the best defense right now in the country in Texas, that means a lot for the Bulldogs.
Saw the splash getting ready for the guy who you think is going to be, or should be, the coach of the year in college football, the 34-year-old Kenny Dillingham, as they are ready to celebrate. Forks up here at AT&T Stadium. They are about to be Big 12 champions. They are about to be in the college football playoff, a team that was picked to finish dead last in the media preseason poll.
It's just one of the great parts about the portal and how quickly your roster can flip and it can change. That's how you go from a team that's 3-9 now to getting into the college football playoff. Skattebo comes in 2 years ago from Sacramento State. Sam Levitt over for Michigan State. Jordan Tyson all year, phenomenal out of Colorado. They've got so many players on both sides of the ball that have come in through the portal. And this coaching staff has done a fantastic job as Arizona State can now celebrate. And Scadaboo's day has just been incredible. So from the very moment he got to the stadium, Joe, you could just tell this guy was locked in. And he was going to work, running between the tackles, running outside of the tackle box, picking up blitzes, catching the ball out of the backfield. He's shown you why he is the complete running back. He is a 3-down back. His draft stock for the NFL, I think, took a big bump in this game here today.
Victory formation. You consider Cam Scadaboo, who played at Sacramento State, FCS football. They were playing a game against Idaho State. Charlie Ragle was the head coach at Idaho State. Well, he was Kenny Dillingham's high school coach. And he told Kenny, because he came on to be on the staff, he said, we need this kid that I played against in FCS football. We got to get this guy, Cam Scadaboo. Cam Scadaboo has put together an all-time great season on a day where he put the team on his shoulders, 170 yards, 3 total touchdowns, and they are headed to the college football playoff.
There's a defensive coordinator out there somewhere that's going to have to face this offense. And Scadaboo, and they're going to have to try to find a way to slow him and slow this running game down. There is the blue Gatorade bath coming. Kenny Dillingham knows it. Eyes on the back of his head. He was tipped off by somebody.
Let's see how quick he can get out of the way. Arizona State. Win number 11 comes with a ticket to the college football playoff.
Right. No.
Kenny Dillingham.
They're still going to get him.
Out to meet Matt Campbell.
See, they waited till after the handshake. That was nice.
And celebrate, Coach. It is well earned. The Arizona State Sun Devils, their first outright conference championship since 1996. They are in the new 12-team college football playoff as the Big 12 champions. Let's go to Katie.
Thanks, Tess. Kenny, in your second season coaching your alma mater, you just won a Big 12 title, and you'll play in the college football playoff. Why was this the group capable of that feat?
They're a special group. Sam's over there. Special quarterback, special running back, special safeties, special linebackers. This is just a special group.
There will be a lot of talk about seeding tomorrow on the selection show. What is your group deserving of after the body of work you put together?
Well, I mean, last year they kept Florida State out because their quarterback didn't play. We're 11-1 with our quarterback. 11-1, and we're Big 12 champs. I think we should be treated like an 11-1 team.
Congratulations. Enjoy.
Thank you. Go Devils.
Sam Leavitt was injured, missed that one game that was a loss. So there's a champion here, but we got the heavyweight clash to determine a champion in the SEC. Georgia and Texas set to come. Nick Saban, Desmond, and Reese Davis are in Atlanta. Reese, take it away.
Joe, thank you very much. Joe, thank you very much. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, we just saw a newcomer win the championship in the Big 12, Arizona State. The first one to do it in a power conference since Virginia Tech in 2004. And now Texas and Quinn Ewers will try to make it back-to-back. Their first year in the SEC, they've made it to this championship game, and they'll try to get a little revenge on Georgia, who beat them in the regular season. Breakdown, take you up to kickoff after this.